We now have the championships in the 82-kilogram weight class. And the opponents in this particular match in the red uniform is Dave Knowles from Elgin, which is he's fighting off his back very early, and he did. And his opponent in blue is John LeBlanc from St. Jerome's Waterloo. Frank, both very impressive wrestlers here. Perhaps John LeBlanc, the more experienced of the two.
Well, certainly is, Lou. He's Canadian national champion, Ontario champion. He's wrestled in Cuba last summer for representing Canada at a tournament. And just as we predicted earlier in the broadcast, an outstanding young man, and he is, in fact, in the finals.
We expected to see him here, didn't we?
We did.
Now, Dave Knowles from Elgin was third at OFSA last year, and, of course, he's coached by John Cook, who, again, has been around the Ontario wrestling scene, Canadian wrestling scene for a long time, formerly a Canadian Greco-Roman champion. And John LeBlanc seems to have taken control of this match early, although Dave Knowles isn't backing off one iota, Frank.
No, he isn't. I was talking to Bill McDonnell, who's LeBlanc's coach, earlier, and asking about how John's shape and was and how his technical performance was, and he felt it was still a little bit behind, about a month behind where it should be, but he said he's so mentally tough that was his best asset in wrestling, was his mental toughness.
Well, there's a good time to take a shot. Dave Knowles had control of John's arm in a 2-on-1. John LeBlanc saw that he was near the edge of the match. Why not take a shot at that point, get a few mental points from the referee?
Yeah.
Good strategy. Okay, time out here.
How long does he have, Lou, with this nosebleed?
3 minutes.
And if the nose bled too much even at the end of 3 minutes, then he would have to forfeit the match.
He would have to forfeit the match. That's right. And of course, this rule is meant to prevent any unnecessary stalling. We've seen a lot of cases with some of the, as you remember well, some of the Eastern European wrestlers, not so much anymore at the 5-minute match, but a few years ago could just drag it on and on and on, just to buy themselves some time. Now there's John LeBlanc shooting in, countered by Dave. Good counters on both wrestlers' parts here. Good balance, and John LeBlanc turns a defense into an offensive shot and comes up with the leg. Good pressure on the leg, trying to far pry, and he did turn it into points, and I agree. It looked like he went on his back from here, and yes, the match chairman is confirming 3 points. You see, if the as you well know, Frank, if the move is initiated inside that red circle and they end up out of bounds, but the move is continuous, you get the full complement of points.
And it's a good idea. It stops that running out of bounds technique that used to be so common.
Well, absolutely. And that's probably going to be, no, I thought that might have been a missed throw with no points awarded. And right, the match chairman is waving it off. Yeah. He's saying there wasn't anything really earned there. And part of the philosophy of amateur wrestling now is to encourage wrestlers to take risks, to try things, and you won't be penalized if you try a good move and you're unsuccessful. The opponent will only score points when he has made a deliberate attempt to score points.
Yeah, we see LeBlanc in control of the situation again. It's 6-0 with just under 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes gone. And LeBlanc has taken it away from Knowles. Well,
Knowles certainly is a game wrestler. Again, he's not running off the mat. He's standing there nose to nose with John LeBlanc, who has shown some technical superiority. There's a missed throw again, and no points awarded, but they stay down. Good call. Very good call on the part of the officials. Sometimes there's a fine line there, Frank, and whether it's a missed throw or a duck under maneuver.
Yeah. And LeBlanc hasn't been very successful in turning Knowles from the bottom, has he?
I don't think he's really trying there. I think he's just hanging on until the referee puts him back up. I mean, he wasn't trying anything deliberate. He's playing around with a cross face here, waiting for that whistle to go, looking over, wondering why he's not being put back on his feet where he appears to be most comfortable. Oh, looks like we may have a serious attempt at a gut wrench here. No, he thought better of it. Dave Knowles is a very long wrestler, and he's having a little talk with himself now, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's trying to get himself motivated, I think.
He's saying, come on, Davey boy, you got to get back into this thing.
He's got a couple hurts, but he wants to get going.
Said, yeah, you're good enough to be third at the All-Ontario level. You're good enough to be on the mat with this guy. Let's get after him.
Often quite a gap, isn't there, between a national champion and someone and a provincial champion?
Well, it's a quantum leap from one level to the other. The other provinces are coming on very strong, and if we don't keep developing very good wrestlers, you know, we're going to lose our position at the top. There's good strategy again by John LeBlanc. You can tell the seasoned, well-prepared wrestlers had the presence of mind to know they were going out of bounds. He turned the tide so that it appeared as if Dave Knowles went out of bounds first. Very important part of strategy. Not a lot of action in the middle now. I think John LeBlanc knows that all he has to do is control his opponent now. He doesn't have to take any risk, and that's fine. Makes for a dull match on some occasions, but certainly it's important for him to protect that lead. But again, he has to be concerned about cautions here.
Knowles trying to drag out of this front headlock, but I think LeBlanc is just too powerful and too experienced. Nice try by Knowles.
Well, I think he almost did come out of it, but they're going to give 1 point to John. A well-deserved point. He fought hard to get it on a go-behind. And again, he's in good control. The score is now 7-0 for John LeBlanc of St. Jerome's over Dave Knowles of Elgin.
A minute remaining.
A minute, and John's working on this near arm, trying to pull it out and work the head or an arm bar. Or if the hips come up, he'll try to grab the inside of the thigh and take him over for 2. The referee says, nothing happening, boys. Let's go back to the middle and start again.
Lou, I suspect we might see both of these two boys against one another again when it comes to the Ontario High School Championships.
Well, I certainly think they're both capable of being there. Certainly they've both been there before. Of course, one never knows from now till March the 2nd and 3rd in Kingston as to whether or not they'll even be in the same weight class. There's a nice move by Dave Knowles.
I don't understand why they didn't give him 2 points.
I don't know why either.
I thought he initiated that move.
He had the underhook in, didn't he? And he had the other arm trapped.
Yeah.
But of course, you've got to go with the officials. They're out there. There are 3 of them, and they're calling the match the way they see it. And that's their job. We're calling for a caution now on the red wrestler. Yeah, and they have cautioned him. In fact, they're saying, Dave, look, you're not working out here. We've got to have some more action. And that was kind of what I call a half shot by John LeBlanc.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying to kill some time. Oh, he's going to get it. Good move by Dave Knowles.
And a little bit too late, Lou. Only 3 seconds left in the match. 1 second, 7-2.
Would have been interesting, of course, had John only been up a couple of points and content with cruising to the end, and that had happened. But you've got to go with John's experience. He's been, as you mentioned, a Canadian, a champion, an OFSA champion.
Yeah, and you know, when you get someone like John who's competed in Cuba and represented his country, it just adds to his competitive poise.
Absolutely.